Okay, I thank Mr. Lee for his speech. And now speaking in second proposition, we'd like to welcome the youngest member of the debate today, Brandon Joel Tan from Yio Chu Kang, who's currently a student. Let's give Brandon a warm welcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon, and I'm the second opposition speaker, and I'll be focusing on the point of education. I think that the first opposition member is very confused about what our motion is about. We believe that the policies in Singapore are crafted considering Singaporeans first, and we believe that they already are Singaporean first and Singaporean first enough. There's some discontent regarding foreign students taking places from locals in universities. However, the government is doing a lot to ensure that Singaporeans are not left behind. Foreign students currently only make up about 20% of the university intake. The government is investing a significant amount of money from the budget into university education and is building more programs to expand and help the universities grow. There have already been a steady increase of Singaporean places in universities. There were 9,000 places for Singaporeans 10 years ago. Now, this year, there are 12,000 places. Universities are expanding at a rate of 20 places per year. We also believe that having foreign students is important for our education development and status. It exposes Singaporeans to foreigners and prepares them for the global workforce. Singaporeans also receive many subsidies and scholarships from the government to help them pay for their education. Foreigners, for the most part, have to pay the full tuition, and as a result, help pay for the subsidies for Singaporeans. Foreign students also bring innovation and talent into the universities. Restricting international talent too much will restrict our ability to engage in collaborative research. Without talent alone, we may not be able to achieve the international respect and standing that we have right now. Foreign talent has put Singapore universities into the top ranks of the best universities of the world. Overly limiting the foreign students goes against the fundamental Singaporean value of being a meritocracy. Competition with foreigners spurs Singaporeans to work harder. Singaporeans shouldn't feel entitled to a university spot. They must work hard for it. And the best and the most talented students should get a university education. Competition and meritocracy have helped Singapore succeed and grow, and it is what will continue to help us prosper. Foreigners in our universities will help Singapore as a whole. They will raise the standard of education. Many will stay in Singapore and contribute to our society. With their innovation, they will expand businesses and grow the economy. This will raise the well-being of many Singaporeans and raise the standard of living and wages of the country as a whole. Talent is Singapore's best resource. Talent and great minds will help Singapore be successful and is what will keep our economy one of the best in the world. Without foreign talent, we will lose innovation and that edge that we have against the world. Foreign talent is what helps us grow as a nation and helps us not be stagnant and to keep growing. We believe that these policies in Singapore are crafted considering Singaporeans first. But we must not get too out of hand and only allow Singaporeans to have university spots and to limit the foreign talent too much. I would like to take some time to rebut the statements the first opposition made. Singapore is already limiting S-passes a lot, so wages will go up some for now. We believe that as cheap labor is decreased, wages will go up for Singaporeans. However, if we overdo this, we will lose cheap labor, and businesses will close because they need that labor. Unemployment, as a result, will rise. For without that cheap labor, the businesses may close entirely, and as a result, we will lose top-level and mid-level jobs as well that Singaporeans want. Unemployment, as a result, will rise. Cheap labor helps business expand and will help grow the economy. It will raise employment and raise wages and raise the standard of living for all of us. Thanks.
Okay, I'd like to thank Brandon for his speech. And speaking in second opposition, let's invite Bernard Liang from Changi Simei to speak his piece. Let's give Bernard a warm welcome as well.
I want to thank my second proposition speaker who talked about education is considered Singaporeans first. But what our stand is that the policies in Singapore, education policies in Singapore are not based on are not considered Singaporeans first, but Singapore's interest first.
Because in Singapore there is 2 million
there's 2 million increase in population to 4.4 million right now, but not all the 4 million of Singaporeans are locally born Singaporeans, and not locally born Singaporeans because this is considered taking the new citizens which are not born locally in Singapore. And there are cases that PR granted scholarships from local universities, which shows that Singapore, the education policies are not crafted to Singaporeans first, but Singapore's interests first. And in our local universities, although I have statistics that shows that Singaporeans do pay, foreign students do pay 3 times more than Singaporeans, but in the end they have the options to sign service obligations which resulted in subsidies being granted for them, and because they have to work 3 years in Singapore-based company upon graduation. This policies already shows that the 3-year service-based companies born in Singapore-based companies are already taking jobs away from the local Singaporeans, which taking jobs away from local Singaporeans because these are the jobs that Singaporeans wanted. These are the jobs that Singaporeans can handle, like IT, like arts. So I can believe that the policies is not crafted according to Singaporeans first, and moreover, the local students in the universities and in the polytechnics are already facing the heat to do better than to outbid their foreign counterparts in their studies. This already shows that the policies are not crafted according to Singaporeans first, but Singapore's interest first. In foreign universities, which I have the statistics, the locals are paying much lesser than the foreign international students, which is 10 times lesser. Which are 10 times lesser, which show that other countries can do well crafting education policies considering their locals first than Singapore. So therefore, I can conclude that the education policies in Singapore are not based on Singaporeans first, but Singapore's interests first. With that, I conclude my case.
Okay, thanks Bernard for the speech. And now we move on to the floor debate. And what we'll do is we'll ask for people to raise your hands, and then once you've been recognized, just tell us your name and whereabouts you're from, and say whether you're speaking for the motion, against the motion, or whether you're not taking sides. So can we have someone from the floor?
My name is Eunice. I serve at Bedok for MPS. When I first walked in, I was for the proposition, but after listening to the opposition, I realized that indeed policies crafted for the interests of Singaporeans should prevail, and not just for Singaporeans first. And I say that because I believe in, being Chinese, I grew up with this proverb that says, bitter medicine is good for you. So when we are taking that bitter pill, we may think that, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. But when we recover, then we realize that it was necessary. So after listening to the opposition, I'm glad I sat on this side. And I think the proposition will have to think a little bit harder as to when you put Singaporeans first, you eliminate competition locally within Singapore, with jobs, with housing, with education, etc. But you are not eliminating the global competition. So in the long run, Singaporeans will suffer if we have myopic policies that put Singaporeans first. So that's my point.